Well, that moment Knicks fans were waiting for seems to have happened last night. Carmelo Anthony, of course, was asked by the New York media about reports that maybe he'd be open to a trade and that the Knicks would love to trade him. And apparently that was news to Carmelo. He basically told reporters that if that's the case, what's coming from that side, I guess it's a conversation we should have. If they feel like my time in New York is over, I guess that's a conversation we should have. I don't know how this is not news to Carmelo, that maybe this isn't the ideal situation for him, but Carmelo Anthony, when he was a free agent, negotiated for his no-trade clause so that he would have control over his career. And to say that this thing has gone as well as everybody had hoped is a huge understatement. And, I think a lot of Knicks fans would say, hey, let's get Carmelo out of here and see what we can get. And for the longest time, the narrative from Carmelo's side was very comfortable in New York, wants to be the guy that wins in New York, loves being a Knick, has a lot of business interests off the court, and while the losing isn't fun, he's not ready to give up on the team. Now it seems like the team might be ready to give up on him. Now the big question becomes, will James Dolan let all of this happen? Look, there's no question that the Phil Jackson experiment hasn't gone as expected. He has been a ghost for many of these controversies that have surfaced here over the last couple of weeks. And now Carmelo Anthony saying, if they don't want me here, maybe we should talk. The question becomes, does James Dolan have a talk with Phil Jackson? Now, there's another side to this. Carmelo admitted again that he hasn't thought about his no trade. It's not something that he's thinking about. He's focused on trying to win. However, now you have to wonder, if the poop is completely out of the goose, how do you get it back in? And this may be a conversation that Carmelo and Phil Jackson have and clear the air, and we'll hear both sides say how committed they are to each other. But if there's ever a time for a divorce in New York, it seems like it just happened. We'll see how it plays out over the long term. There's about 38 days until the NBA trade deadline. Moving Carmelo mid-season would be pennies on the dollar. If Carmelo's going to change zip codes, you'd think it would happen in the off-season, but who thought it would get to this point?